Hi y'all, Gramma Rose here. My Monarda is in full bloom. It's beautiful red Monarda. Bee balm. It's red bee balm. And it is in full bloom and I wanted you to see it. The bees are working it. It's a wonderful pollinator attractor, as you can see. At least these carpenter bees, I don't see any bumblebees, but these are all carpenter bees. But they're pollinating. It's a bee, and they're pollinating. Just like honeybees and just like bumblebees. These are carpenter bees. The bumblebees are fuzzy butt bees, and the carpenter bees I called shiny butt bees. That's how I tell them apart. So there you go, y'all. Isn't that pretty? They're about as tall as I am. Some of them are, at least. I'm 5'2", so some of these are at least as tall as I am. Just a nice plant to have in my herb garden. As you can see, this Monarda is right here by my blueberries. I'm just starting to get blueberries. This is the first year these bushes have been big enough to have any fruit on them. They do. They have a little bit. Well, this one has it's a pretty good amount. Probably not enough to amount to much, being that it's one bush. But there's a few in here that are getting ripe. Right in there. And I've gotten about a handful. Here's some. I think this is a different variety. I'm not exactly sure what this one is. This one I've already gotten some off of, and these berries are larger. And I got this from a friend. She gave me, blueberries will make root divisions. Root divisions probably isn't the right term, but they'll spread from the base. And she dug up some for me, and so she gave me 4 or 5, and this is one of them, and it's got blueberries on it too. As you see, this has already been producing a little bit. Even though I wouldn't say I had a good picking, I was able to pick a few, and there's still more to go. And this little bush right in here is just beginning to ripen. So these are 2 different varieties, and the other one produces first, ripens first, and this one comes in later. But this is what's right here in my herb garden. I call this my food forest too, since there's an edible right there, and it's a blueberry bush. And here's a blueberry bush, and then there's another one over there. This is going to be a good grouping of blueberry bushes when they produce. And right there, you can tell, is elderberry. I really didn't want an elderberry there, but I think it's going to be okay. I've shared my elderberries this year with others, and those are the ones that I dug up right in here, right in this area. It's okay to have 1 or 2 elderberries right here in the corner, right in here, but I don't want this whole area to be elderberry. This is my herb bed. So right in here is an elderberry that needs to come out. So this coming spring, I'll dig that up and share that with somebody. And right here too. The sun's back out right at noon, harsh shadows, probably not the best time to be shooting this. But they're pretty. Getting ready to get a sprinkle. How nice. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the Monarda. Most of you know that Monarda is a beneficial herb. It's a medicinal herb. So in addition to being a pretty plant, it's a medicinal herb. Now this species of Monarda is Monarda didyma, D-I-D-Y-M-A. It's cultivated. You'll see this a whole lot in flower gardens. The native flower, the wildflower, is called Monarda fistulosa. Now both of those seeds are available online. I'm not going to give you a link to that because they're really easy to find. But so this is the Monarda didyma. This is the one that is used as an ornamental plant. But even though it's an ornamental, it has the same medicinal properties as the wildflower does. So both of them are edible, and they're both easy to grow from seed. So look for the seeds. Seeds are easy to find. So let me tell you some of the things about it that are good to know. Good to know what it is good for. So number one, it's antimicrobial. So that's good. Against microbes, bugs, bacteria. It's soothing. So it can be used to treat colds and flu. It's also soothing to the digestive tract. So indigestion, bloating, nausea. It's antispasmodic. So against spasms. What are spasms? What kind of spasms might you have? Menstrual cramps, coughs. It's a nervine. In other words, it treats the nervous system. It's similar to lemon balm, which in fact is growing right next to lemon balm in my herb garden. So there's the bee balm. Oh, in addition to that, it treats anxiety and stress. And it's really good for use with children because they're sensitive to things. And there's a rooster. They're sensitive to things. And bee balm is something that can be used on children. So that's well and good. That's basically what it'll do. And how you take it in or use it. So it's also used for scratches and abrasions externally. That rooster just keeps on crowing, doesn't he? So I guess the easiest thing to do would be to make it into a tea. Now the individual flowers, so that's a cluster of flowers. So individual flowers can be picked off, and then they can be dried or they can be used fresh to make a tea. So a couple of tablespoons of the fresh petals, a tablespoon or so of the dried petals, and a cup of water for about 15 minutes. And there's lots of other ways that it can be used. So there is Monarda. Beautiful as well as valuable medicinal plant. Wonderful in the herb garden, not just for the herbs, but for the beauty too. It makes your herb garden beautiful. Bye, y'all. See you next time.